Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Oh,
Hey,
hi.
hey, Josh.
Hey, James, how are you?
Doing well. Excited for this one.
Me too. I'm in my best pajamas just to
I would say
just
those are your best. Those are very good pajamas.
these are the best. This thing, this kind of flannel thing, it's delightful. It's delightful,
Yeah.
especially in these cold months. It's good.
hmm So, hello, everyone. This is David Bowie, the Berlin Trilogy. That's the show that we're doing, um, which we're both pretty excited for. Please share the show here as we get started so we can get more people watching. Um, we have a bunch of great songs, and of course, we want to share them with you. Um, yeah, Josh has a lot to say about David Bowie. So, between the songs and the Josh, it should be a good show. Uh,
Yes.
yes,
We've
we're
been talking about this one for so long, James.
for sure. This is an idea that Josh had a long time ago. Kind of, I think, bouncing off of our original Bob Dylan success with the '80s Bob Dylan. That
Yeah.
this sort of this idea of taking an iconic artist that is not underexposed. Like the question of undercovered is always debatable, but the question of definitely nobody nobody's like sleeping on David Bowie, right? But nevertheless, you take a specific period that's either an interesting turning point or uh, maybe under thought about, either or both those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I think with Bowie, most people are thinking Ziggy Stardust or Let's Dance kind of era,
yeah,
and this one is kind of that one that like if you've kind of dug into Bowie a little bit, you're like, oh yeah, these three albums are so important. But generally with Bowie, you're not, people. It's not. There's less pop hits on this one and less of the Ziggy mystique.
right, right. So anyway, it's a
Yeah, and
great idea. Okay, so let's just talk briefly about what's coming up next too. So we've got a couple of weeks here of just doing our Sunday thing before jumping back quickly to a Friday show on December 18th. So next week, on December 6th, we've got Carole King, and then the week after that, we've got Sam Cooke. And we'll keep the rest a mystery to everyone, but that's what's coming up. So Carole King on the 6th, and then Sam Cooke on the 13th at 11 a.m. And that's exciting. It should be, it's very different from what we're doing this week, and they're different from each other. Um, so we're definitely excited about that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Onward and upward. It's a
yeah,
great season. Uh,
yeah. And it's great too. We've talked about this a bit. It's great that we're just kind of gradually building our base of contributing artists, because it's nice that
yeah,
I both get excited when I see, oh yes, we're back with this core artist that I love to have on, and there's a bunch of that happening this week. But then it's also great when you look and you see, say, a band that we've had one other time coming back for another song on a different show. It's great to kind of each week have a slightly different flavor, and
yeah,
showcase different artists. So I'm super jazzed about that, like slow but steady growth, which is totally what the goal is, to kind of build a community and also build showcase different artists. So both, yeah, original artists and the covers. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
yeah. I need to improve my lighting over here. I feel like you've found a good niche for your lighting. It's very a nice natural light with the dappled lighting. I'm very
Yeah,
dissatisfied with my lighting. So
I feel yellow. I feel orange. Yeah, orangey yellow
yeah,
personally, but
you're a bit yellow, but it's okay. Yeah,
kind of in a fun, kind of not scurvy way.
yeah, not in a jaundiced way. More
Yeah,
like
jaundice.
a glowing vibe.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the glow just before the jaundice kicks in.
yeah. I wasn't aware of
Yeah,
that. It's like
yeah. No, this is a lesser
the green
known
flash of
thing.
the sunset. You just have a brief uh, yellow glow,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
and everyone
But
thinks you look great. Yeah,
end of day today, my liver will be shot.
mm.
Yeah,
For different reasons than that,
that's
though.
yeah. Yeah, totally. I have now been pretty drunk for three social distance live
Yeah,
as of Tom Waits last week,
yeah.
which I feel like I went a little overboard. I feel like I disgraced Tom Waits in a way.
I don't know. I got some very
No,
positive.
because like,
Yeah,
because later on he got sober and he like those were kind of these years he tried to push himself away from, and I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna embrace the alcohol and
right. Well, you were living in the period. I got some very positive feedback. A friend of mine texted me like 3 days later while I was at
yeah,
work and was
yeah.
like, by the way, Josh should be drunk for every show from this point forward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard that one before too. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I got pretty tipsy at Rainbow Girls and Pixies. I
That was
that
the
was
best, yeah.
that
So
was tough.
we're definitely threatening to have me drunk for one of these shows, but we haven't done it yet, so could happen.
I think so. I think the season ender for this year, which on what it is, but
The Ender Bender.
Ender Bender. Yeah, you and I both.
Yeah,
No, one of us needs to be sober.
maybe, maybe.
Maybe.
Or we just have somebody like Carissa in the room who can like organize.
It's
That was
kind of
good.
helpful.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
very helpful.
okay, so shall we start since it's 11:10? We're gonna kick off with a bang, so everybody share this so that other people can see it. But whenever you're ready, Josh, let's just get into the Bowie action.
All right.
I'm gonna go hide everyone, but I'll come back. Keep Josh company.
Okay.
Josh, you're solo.
Oh, Jesus. Where do I start? Where do I even start? Okay. Should we just get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. David Bowie. Where does one begin with David Bowie? David Bowie is a, it's like all roads lead to David Bowie. Each part of his career has a story unto itself, and you can enter in from any of these access points into an artistic experience and an artist who was very brave, very um, risk taking, very cavalier, and very intelligent in so many ways. Um, like I had kind of said earlier, I think Ziggy Stardust and Let's Dance are these two periods that are kind of the highways in the country that is David Bowie, but there are so many other places and other people in there. Um, this period here is key in that, I mean, there's so many phases, and maybe I'll walk up to where this is, and then later on we'll get into exactly what 1977 was about and everything like that. But let's just say he has this first period, which is David Bowie in the '60s, where he's trying to get success in so many ways. He's doing the folky thing. He's doing like this metal in the man who sold the world, etc. Before finally kind of breaking through with Ziggy Stardust and finally getting this success. He has a few albums in this Ziggy style, even though he kind of tries to end it at the end of the Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars tour. Um, he then starts to enter this plastic soul period of young Americans, which pretty soon spirals into this minimalist kind of German uh, um, uh, darkness, cocaine fueled, evil, thin white Duke. Um, and before coming into this period, which is really key in that, I mean, I'll explain a little bit more later, but this period here is this really key turning point where it feels like David Bowie is going to actually emerge from the 1970s alive, relevant, and and livelier than ever. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that and say that this is a key point in who David Bowie is. These three albums in particular. We're going to start off, we're going to do these three albums in chronological order. So we're going to start with 1977's Low, which is the start. We're going to start with this one is a definitive song in his career. He later on names a tour after this song, and it really kind of symbolizes this recreation and this receptivity that he is embracing with these three albums. The song is called Sound and Vision, and we have, of course, Social Distance Live MVP Tony Gibson back on board doing this.
And JB Duff.
JB's on this one too.
Mm-hmm, yep.
We got this one a little late in the game. These guys were right up to the right up to the line, so I didn't get to see this one, and I didn't see Tony's last time either. I'm really experiencing Tony's on the fly. So Tony and JB, this is Gentlemen Soldiers performing Sound and Vision by David Bowie off of his 1977 album Low. Take it away, fellas.
Sometimes about sound and vision. Blue, blue, electric blue. That's the color of my room where I will live. Blue, blue. Nothing to read, nothing to say. Blue, blue. I will sit right down, waiting for the gift of sound and vision. And I will sing, waiting for the gift of sound and vision. Drifting into my solitude, over my head. Don't you wonder sometimes about sound and vision?
Tony Gibson and JB Duff performing Sound and Vision there by David Bowie. That is the perfect beginning to this very special show, I would say. What do you think, James? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I just love, so I love this album, Low, and I've been listening to it a bunch this week. And you and I were talking about this a bit. There's a lot of, the name is Low, and there's a lot of kind of sadness or kind of just a melancholy that pervades the album, and I think that applies to the more upbeat songs as well, like this song. But I do really love, there's a couple of songs in there that are just lovely, that are more positive feeling, right?
Yeah.
This is one of them. The first song on the album was the Speed of Life, and then also a New Career in a New Town is another one.
Yeah.
I really love that that's kind of, there's this like introspective positivity to it, and I think as you'll get into, but I love the way that you can feel his new life and the kind of stripped down nature of his new life in these songs. New Career in a New Town obviously speaks for itself in terms of the title, and then therefore he like doesn't need any more lyrics, and it just kind of is this feeling of being alone and a bit empty, and then kind of being excited by life, right? And I think that in this song you feel this, it's sort of just the excitement about having your capacities of sound and vision, and being able to like sit down in your room and watch a film projected or whatever it is, just like this kind of a new of appreciation for small things. And that was something that struck me listening to interviews that he did about this period. Is just he kept saying, I had to shop for my own food, which I thought was really.
I have that quote. Can I read that?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
Low was a reaction to having gone through that dull, greeny, gray limelight of America and its repercussions, pulling myself out of it and getting to Europe and saying, for God's sake, reevaluate why you wanted to get into this in the first place. Did you really do it just to clown around in LA? Retire. What you need is to look at yourself a bit more accurately. Find people you don't understand and a place you don't want to be, and just put yourself into it. Force yourself to buy your own groceries.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And to get there, you need to look and see in 1975 and 1976, the man was so frail. Just look at the cover of his album Stage, which is him live during his Plastic Soul period, and it's alarming how thin he was. Kiki said he was eating milk and hot peppers and mountains of cocaine. Like, that was his life. He hardly remembers being in the movie The Man Who Fell to Earth, recorded in 1970 or filmed in 1975, released in 1976. He has no memory, he claims, of recording the album station to station. He knows it was recorded in LA, he said, because the liner notes said that. He was in a real rough spot, and you reach this point where you're like, okay, he could have just been one of those acts, one of those artists that died in the 70s.
Yeah.
There's this parallel world where he just dies,
Yeah, totally.
And so he saves his own life by leaving LA. And actually, this is a connection to Tom Waits, actually, which I didn't bring up last time. Tom Waits leaving LA is an important part of his leaving that barfly kind of alcoholic kind of way of looking at things. He moves to New York at the end of what we covered last time.
Right.
Yeah. So Bowie moves to Switzerland.
Yeah.
He meets Brian Eno, who becomes a figure in all three of these albums. He gets there in 1976. He Station to Station is released. He gets the fuck out of LA and into Switzerland. He records two albums, and actually we should get on to the next song. But let me just say, just really quickly, I have so much to say. You could say that this trilogy actually has 5 parts, which I'll get into later, but he records The Idiot, which is a Iggy Pop album, which you could say is actually the beginning of this trilogy. He records The Idiot and Low in 1976, and begins this transformation. Let's go back to it on the other side of the song.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Thanks for listening to us, everybody. All right, the Sam Chase is here, and Sam's reaching into some other stuff with this one. He's performing "Always Crashing in the Same Car," which is an incredible tune off of Low. I have nothing to say except let's start the song. Do you have anything to say, James?
Nope.
Nope. All right. This is the Sam Chase performing "Always Crashing in the Same Car" off of David Bowie's Low. Sam, what you got?
Every chance that I take, I take it on the road. All those miles and miles and miles, and those red lights. I was always looking left and right. Oh, but I'm always crashing in the same car. Jasmine, I saw you peeping as I pushed my foot down to the floor. I was going round and round and round in the hotel garage. Must have been touching close to 94.
Yikes. Yikes. The Sam Chase performing Always Crashing in the Same Car. One of my favorite of all of David Bowie's tunes, for sure, for sure. So we're coming up on the end of Low now. We have one more song from Low, and then we'll move into the next one. What do I have to say about this? Oh, hey, here's a fun fact about Low, and then we'll just go into it. Oh, first of all, it was recorded in France. He was living in Switzerland, recorded in France. So sorry. Okay, here's just a quick thing about Low. The Man Who Fell to Earth, 1976. It's a really great album, great movie. You should watch it. He's an alien, which is always fun. So he was originally slated to create the soundtrack for that movie, and so he made, I think, at least a bunch of demos and stuff and brought them in, and so you have this kind of nuts David Bowie here handing in this demo to the director, and director says, we cannot use this is crazy, and then they hire someone else to do the soundtrack. David Bowie makes Low out of that. So it's actually originally, so the song Subterraneans off of Low was actually for The Man Who Fell to Earth. He sends the director a copy of Low with a note saying this was going to be the soundtrack. It would have been awesome. So there you go. Maybe that's the reason. Low and Heroes, both the second half, are all instrumentals. So maybe that's part of why that happened. But a lot of the cover of Low is a still from The Man Who Fell to Earth. So is Station to Station. There's this whole big connection there. That was a big turning point. Okay, let's just go into the next one. Julian Shah-Tayler, The Singularity. We have Julian on board as soon as I knew we were going to do David Bowie. I knew we needed to call up Julian. This is Breaking Glass off of Low. This one wraps up 1977's Low. Let's hear how the treatment Julian gives Breaking Glass. Take it away.
Baby, I've been breaking glass in your room again. See, don't look on your carpet. I drew something awful on it. See, such a wonderful person, but you got problems. I'll never touch you. Don't look on your carpet. I drew something awful on it. See, such a wonderful person, but you got problems. I never touch you. You're such a wonderful person, but you got problems. I never touch you. Such a wonderful person, but you got problems. Such a wonderful person, I never touch you. You're such a wonderful person, but you got problems. Oh, 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 oh. I never touch you.
Julian Shah-Tayler, The Singularity, performing Breaking Glass off of David Bowie's Low. 1977, people. That song's fantastic. That's great. It's on the album. It has these great weird drums that are kind of Low is famous for. Anyway, it's fantastic, and really well done there. All right, I just want to talk really quick, and then we'll get on to more music. But I want to talk about 1977 in particular. I want to run it down. This is possibly David Bowie's most productive year of all his entire life. So let me just run this down really quick, okay? So 1977, he releases The Idiot, Iggy Pop's record, which he had a huge part in. He releases Low. Both of those were recorded late 1976, but they're released in 77. He goes on tour for Iggy Pop, playing keys. So you go to an Iggy Pop show and David Bowie's in the back corner on synthesizers. So that was kind of funny. Then in 1977, they moved to Berlin from Switzerland. They record Lust for Life, an incredible Iggy Pop album, and Heroes. Then, so they record that in Berlin over the course of the summer. Then he goes out, he records Peter and the Wolf, the children's album. He records that in America, I think, in 1977. And he comes back in time for winter to record Peace on Earth and Little Drummer Boy with Bing Crosby on with that special Christmas special. It's incredible how much he does in this 1 year. It's like he's like, I'm not just going to recreate myself. I'm going to come back fist flying, doing just incredible output. Speaking, so I had alluded to in 1977, he actually moves to Berlin with Iggy Pop, starts buying his own groceries, et cetera, et cetera. They have a studio right by the Berlin Wall. And at this point, Berlin is this, divided city. He kind of feeds off of that tension and that kind of desolation and recreation that Berlin was going through. Brian Eno takes a stronger presence on Heroes, and they create this album called Heroes. In the shadow of the Berlin Wall. Their studio was really close to the wall, and so they could walk right along there and everything like that. And in the middle of 1977, he's not just doing crazy stuff. He also creates one of his most famous songs of his entire career, the song Heroes. And we have Lindsay Gray covering that with us. So this is an all cello kind of cover, reimagining, beautiful rendition of a song that has defined David Bowie. This is Heroes. So Lindsay Gray, take it away. Give us some Heroes. Lindsay Gray, that's Heroes by David Bowie, 1977's album of the same name, but with quotation marks around it. Heroes is heroes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Key difference. Yeah, I was just saying, I think I highly recommend going and listening to the Heroes, David Bowie's recorded version, and kind of bouncing it back and forth with Lindsay Gray's version. It's great to hear. They're kind of a conversation with each other. It's cool to hear Lindsay's version because it's definitely different. Obviously being cellos, but it's a great. I don't know. I love having Lindsay Gray on. Thank you, Lindsay, for doing this one again. It's always really great to have that element come back in.
She came on board with the Bjork one, I think. At the
Yes,
beginning.
yoga, yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Go back to that. Go back to any of these. We have so many shows now.
Yeah.
It's great.
Actually, can I take that opportunity to say, I think I'm still formulating this idea in my mind, but it looks like we're going to be between seasons in January in terms of undercovered seasons. And I'm thinking that what I might do is kind of release a weekly mixtape of undercovereds.
I like that.
Because I'm really excited to kind of, just like remind everyone all of the amazing work that you all have done, and that if you're watching and you haven't participated, that people have done. So I'm kind of excited about that idea. Just maybe without commentary, maybe with commentary, but just like not necessarily like a best of per se, because it would be really hard to do that. But just this is what I'm feeling this week, kind of thing.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So.
I know, I keep thinking about this. I'm so happy when people post their songs afterwards and try and get it to live on on their own social channels, because it's amazing the creativity that's come out of this project. So, as a segue, there is a donation link on the. It's pinned on the Facebook and the YouTube, maybe, or is it just on the Facebook?
It's one? Just if you. I mean, it's on the screen here on the video.
Oh yeah.
And then it's on Facebook pinned. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, PayPal right there. So donate, help these artists out. Everyone's putting 1,000% into this. Let's move on. We have another song off of Heroes. We have two songs off of Heroes, so this is going to wrap up 1977's Heroes for us. This one is the only one on Heroes, fun fact, where the words were written before they went into the studio. A lot of Heroes was written literally with David Bowie on the mic. Heroes, for instance, was going to be an instrumental track, they thought, at the beginning, and then he goes in and starts recording these vocals, writing it, singing it, writing, singing, and that's his new three-phase process that he kind of does, recording the basic tracks, and then doing the overdubs on those tracks, and then doing not just vocals but lyrics and vocals, which I find it's something that he does. He wasn't doing that before this 1977 period, really. Although he was experimenting with weird things like William Burroughs' cut up technique. He does that in Diamond Dogs and stuff like that. So anyway. Let's move on. Let's do this is the second song that we're doing off of Heroes, Sons of the Silent Age. Sons of the Silent Age. We have Dave Rapa doing this one, and Dave's been a big presence on this season and a good chunk of last season. So it's really great to have Dave back. Let's just drop the needle. Let's hit play. Let's get this plane up in the air. Let's start windsurfing. Let's do this.
Enough
Let's
of that.
do it.
Sons of the silent age stand on platforms, blank looks and notebooks, sitting back rows of city limits, lay in bed, coming and going on easy terms. Sons of the silent age pace their rooms like a cell's dimensions rise for a year or two, then make war, search through their 1-inch thoughts, then decide it could European king dice. Sons of the silent age, pick up in bars and cry only once. Sons of the silent age, make love only once, but dream and dream. They don't walk, they just glide in and out of life. They never die, they just go to sleep one day. Baby, I'll never let you go. All I see is all I know. Let's take another way down. Ooh, baby, 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 I will never let you down. I can't stand another sound. Let's find another way.
Woo!
Dave Rapa. Wow. Okay. Cool. All from the comfort of his couch.
Yeah.
That's
Perfect.
great. Cool. Wow. That was amazing. Okay. Cool. These are amazing covers, everyone. Jeez, we don't deserve these. This is crazy.
I agree.
All right. The last four are from the third album of the Berlin Trilogy. The last four songs we have on our show here. This one is called Lodger. Lodger was 1979, so we got a 2-year break. Let me just say 1978, great year for David Bowie. He's in a movie called Just a Gigolo, which I've never seen, but I hear it's, yeah. He also goes on a world tour with these songs. So I really recommend, if you want to do this, I recommend after this or whatever, to listen to the album Welcome to the Blackout. It's a David Bowie album, and it just came out kind of recently. It's from the world tour of 1978, and you get to see these albums or these songs done live, which is pretty cool. So I really recommend that album. So that was done during 78. Then you get 79, you get him teaming up with Eno in a deeper way with this album. It was originally going to be called Planned Accidents or Despite Straight Lines, but it got called Lodger. Let's just hop into it. Let's just get into it. So we have Steve Ward Moore returning to the show, also someone who started on the Bjork episode. This is Ya Assassin. And it's a song. It's a song off of Lodger. That's we've already established that, but I just want to make sure you know. All right, let's see it. 1979's Lodger. We're kicking it off with Ya Assassin by Steve Ward Moore. Take it away, Steve.
Ya Assassin, I'm not a moody guy. I walk without a sound, just a working man, no judge of men, but such a life I've never known. To fight, but I don't want to leave or drift away. Yeah, assassin, I'm not a moody guy. want to fight, but I don't want to leave or drift away. Yeah, assassin, I'm not a moody guy. I walk without a sound, just a working man, no judge of men, but such a life I've never known. Oh, it's cold.
Steve, all right. I'm so glad we have a stripped down version of one of the songs. I mean, the cello's kind of similar as well, but like, just to show that these tunes, the production on these albums is insane, very strange, but it's so good to see a song just done with the guitar. I think it always lets the lyrics really shine through and that sort of thing. So, kudos to Steve Wardmore for doing that one, and. Yeah, Sunglasses at Night. You're right. I don't know what Steve's eyes look like, actually.
That's true. Yeah.
All right, let's take a minute right now. Can we talk about Social Distance Live? Be sure to like and get the notifications on Facebook. Follow that YouTube channel if you haven't. Even if you watched this on Facebook, head on over to YouTube. We'd really appreciate it if you would follow us there. And there is an Instagram. We still haven't really gotten to the stage where we're using it yet, but we do have one. So follow all that stuff, and let's talk about what's coming up. Okay,
Yeah.
James?
Mhm.
Yeah. So next week we have a Carole King episode. We have Carole King cover show, which is going to be so sweet and so awesome. So Carole King. And then after that, Sam Cooke. We're doing a Sam Cooke episode, one of my favorite artists by far, and so we have a lot of great artists on both of those shows. Then we're going to do a few more things, one sort of secret thing, which is going to be kind of cool, and then we're finishing season 1 up sometime around the new year or something like that. So very exciting stuff coming up, so don't miss it. Be sure to subscribe, and not only subscribe but follow and get the notifications. And write it on your bathroom mirror that every Sunday there's this show, and just check in with us. Just message us personally and see how things are going, because we love that.
Absolutely.
Right, Jane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well said.
Cool. So let's do the next song. This one is this one's called DJ off of Lodger. And I'm so glad. I love this song so much, and I'm so glad that Francesco Echo has taken it upon himself to cover this one. Yeah, I have nothing else to say. This song is DJ off of 1979's Lodger. Francesco Echo, share with us your video. Yeah.
Job, and I'm incurably ill. You think this is easy? Realism. I've got a girl out there, I suppose. I think she's dancing. Feel like Pandora lies down. I think she's dancing. But what do I know? All of nights and evening faces, fast food, living nostalgia, humble pie, oh, bitter fruit. I am a DJ, I am what I play. Can't turn around, no, can't turn. I am a DJ, I am what I play. Can't turn around, no, can't turn. I am a DJ, I am what I say. I can't believe it. Time flies when you're having fun. Break his heart, break her heart. He used to be my boss, now he's a pop dancer. I am a DJ and I've got believers. I've got believers. I am a DJ, I am what I play. Can't turn around, no, can't turn. I am a DJ, I am what I play. Can't turn around, no, can't turn. I am a DJ, I am what I say. I got believers, believe in me.
Francesco Echo, thank you so much for bringing that. Thanks to you and thanks to all the artists for taking some of like my favorite songs and just doing this. I feel so lucky and so blessed to have these folks just hopping up to play some of my favorite music. It's so great. So on that note, be sure to donate. There's a tag. There's a link right here on the screen. Even be sure to donate and help these artists out. They're just putting in, as you can see, so much energy and such. We ask people to try and pretend like it's a live show. Just pitch in like $15, something like that, and we'll get it to the artists. There's so many artists too. We'd love it if everybody pitched in out there, so that we have something to go around. Yeah, all right. Let's we got two more songs. We got two more tunes, James.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. All right, I need to dork out on this album just for a second. I know I'm talking a lot on this one, but I'm glad you're humoring. So this one here was recorded in Switzerland. Lodger, Brian Eno hops in and he brings in these cards that he's known for having called the oblique strategies, which are basically like, I don't know what kind of cards they were, playing cards or something like that, which had just these really interesting kind of exercises to do to create for new random sounds and experiences in the studio. For instance, like one of the songs on Lodger, I think it's Red Sails, is all the young dudes, the song from the Ziggy era, backwards. All the chords are that song backwards. He has one song. See, I should have written which tunes these were, but one of the songs is literally the backing track from a song from The Idiot by Iggy Pop, and they just used this backing track and created a new song after it, on top of it. And then the song after this one, Boys Keep Swinging, they actually swap instruments. So the guitar player's on the drums, I think, and that sort of thing. And it's a fun album, especially if you look at it through that lens and see each one of these as a little experiment. This tune is called Look Back in Anger. This is an incredible song off of Lodger, and we're so lucky to have Adam Dragland and Michael Carney. Michael making his social distance live debut, so that's pretty exciting. And these guys know their Bowie. These guys know their David Bowie. This is a powerful tune to choose, and I'm so glad that we have it in the lineup for this show. All right, this is Look Back in Anger off of 1979's Lodger by David Bowie, being performed by Adam Dragland and Michael Carney. Fellas, do the thing.
His crumpled wings, closed his eyes and moved his lips. It's time we should be going. Waiting so long, I've been waiting, so waiting. Look back in anger, driven by the night, till you come. Waiting so long, I've been waiting, so waiting. Look back in anger, see it in my eyes, till you come. Yawning, wipe and sleep away. Very strange, he seemed to me. Waiting so long, I've been waiting, so waiting. Look back in anger, driven by the night, till you come. Waiting so long, I've been waiting, so waiting. Look back in anger, in my voice, till you come. Waiting so long, waiting so long, I've been waiting, so waiting, so. So long, I've been waiting, so waiting, so. Hello?
All right, Adam Dragland and Michael Carney, thank you so much. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, guys. Pretty good. Also, Michael's the Social Distance Live debut. Hopefully we'll have you back for more. And I think that was the Social Distance Live debut of Campfire. I don't think we've had a Campfire on the show before, so there you go. You saw it here. Thank you, Tony. You're right. On this next song, Boys Keep Swinging, there's another funny, thing. It has the same chords, key, and pretty much the same structure as Fantastic Voyage, the song that opens up Lodger. So I think Lodger gets this whole another layer of depth if you start to see it through this lens of the oblique strategies cards and this kind of experimental technique. we're gonna wrap it up with one more song. Has everyone had fun? I think everyone's had fun. I'm seeing more applause emojis on this show than I've seen on any. So we're all clapping.
For
We're
sure.
all clapping at home. I'm just picturing everybody at home just clapping like we're circus seals, you know? That's what I think.
Yep.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Like the circus seals are clapping, or that we're circus seals, or both?
I picture us. I think the main audience here is circus seals, right?
Right. I think so, for sure.
Our demographic is generally aquatic mammals. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've done market research.
Yeah.
All right. So
That's the person on Twitch. Shout out to the person on Twitch.
We have one person who watches on Twitch. Hey there, and they're it's just streaming. That one is just streaming to the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
Yeah, under the sea. Yeah.
For all of the animals to watch. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, folks. I want to thank everybody individually and in a group. You all are fantastic. Tony Gibson, the Sam Chase, Julian Shah-Tayler, The Singularity, Lindsay Gray, Dave Rapa, Steve Ward Moore, Francesco Echo, Adam Dragland, and Michael Carney. And wrapping it up, finishing it up, put an exclamation on this mofo, Kiki the Cat. We have Kiki the Cat here wrapping it up. This is Boys Keep Swinging. It's the first single off of Lodger. You got anything else to say before we finish this baby off?
No. See everyone next week. And yeah, we're excited to keep going.
Carole King next week. We've got a great lineup. So tune in at 11 a.m. All right, we're gonna hand the steering wheel over to Kiki, and she's gonna drive us into Bowie land. Kiki, thank you so much, and thank everyone who's performed, everyone who's tuned in, and you all are fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone. Take it away, Kiki. Get us out of here.
Heaven loves you, the clouds part for you, nothing stands in your way when you're a boy. Clothes always fit ya, life is a pop of the cherry when you're a boy. When you're a boy, you can wear a uniform. When you're a boy, other boys check you out. You'll get a girl, sing your favorite things when you're a boy. Boys keep swinging, boys always working out. Uncage the colors, unfurl the flag. Luck just kissed you hello when you're a boy. They'll never clone ya, you're always first on the line when you're a boy. When you're a boy, you can buy a home of your own. When you're a boy, learn to drive and everything, you'll get your share. When you're a boy.